welcome to the Potluck Culture Podcast, where we cover any news articles or Easter eggs and callbacks regarding any famous pop culture phenomenon. And I'm your host, Keegan Bond. Now, this is actually this podcast I've actually had in the works since I saw the movie Morbius by Sony and Marvel, and I thought, why not give something like this a try? So this is like my first podcast ever made. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right to it. So first off, I want to wish everybody a happy New Year, even though I'm a few weeks late. And we are now in the year 2023, and we've had a lot of surprises back in 2022. And believe me when I tell you, there's more in store for us this year than we can possibly imagine. So today, for this first episode, we're going to cover one of those surprises, which is going to be Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, along with what we know so far about this new multiverse saga and what is to come. But first, we're going to cover any Easter eggs or plot leaks that I recently came across, even after watching the first two trailers over and over again. And this rumor that I saw, which was like a months ago. Now I don't know anything about this person who shall remain nameless, but I've heard that in the past they've been like 98% correct with plot leaks in the past. Now, first off, we know so far most of this movie is going to be in the quantum realm, and it's supposed to be a setup for Avengers Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars in Phase 6. But how is it going to lead up to all this? Well, after watching the two trailers and reading this plot leak, which happens to be in some of the trailer, which I believe is shattered in multiple clips because it's a trailer, but you know what I mean. So basically, the plot leak for this movie, it says that we will get an opening shot of Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, who is stuck in the quantum realm, and apparently she's running from what looks like quantum realm creatures when she come across a mysterious figure, and then we show a montage of Scott Lang, who's narrating the excerpt from his autobiography, Looking Out for the Little Guy, which is basically his own telling of how he helped the Avengers stop Thanos. And apparently he's talking about how happy he was to be friends with the Hulk and how he met a talking raccoon. Janet, Hank, Hope, and his daughter don't really like how he's so egotistical because of all the fame he's getting for being praised as a hero and apparently becoming employee of the century for Baskin Robbins, which is where he used to work at. And we did see something like that in the trailer when he's getting honored for, apparently, I'm guessing, since Thanos changed the lives of trillions of people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They are changing things on a dime. Like, first it's Employee of the Month, now Employee of the Century is given to very privileged people, and that's kind of what disgusts me about this whole new post-blip phase. But anyway, as we saw in the trailers, and as this leak is saying, apparently Cassie, who has grown pretty close to Janet, Hope, and Hank, apparently she built what she calls a deep space satellite, but it's to reach out people who may be trapped in the quantum realm. Now, immediately, Janet is is all concerned about this because she asks if the satellite is both ways receiving, and apparently she begs her to turn it off as soon as possible, but apparently something on the other end triggers that signal and it pulls them all into the quantum realm, just like the trailers. And apparently they get separated into two groups, which is Scott and Cassie and Hank, Janet, and Hope. They end up in different parts of the quantum realm, And apparently, they come across a city which I believe is the MCU's version of Chronopolis, which is the city of Kang the Conqueror, who we see in this movie. He is the variant of He Who Remains from the season finale of Loki, played by the memorable Jonathan Majors. Now, Scott is caught up in a devil's deal with Kang the Conqueror because he says that he is the one man who can give Scott the one thing he wants most, and that is the time that he missed with his daughter Cassie while he was in the quantum realm during the blip. He says that he will only do this if he will help him steal back something that is vitally important to him, which I think it has to be affiliated with his time chair or his ship that can transcend the multiverse that we are hearing about in this movie because Kane is not just a time traveling conqueror, he can travel the multiverse as well. And based off what Janet said in the trailer, he can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. This already has us intrigued of how big a villain Kane is going to be, and he's supposed to be like the Thanos of this new saga because apparently he, along with several other variants of himself, are supposed to be in this new Secret Wars movie that's coming up. Now, there is a rumor that Jonathan Majors is going to be playing a variant of Kane, but apparently it's the Beyonder. But I don't think that this would make any sense because there is no there is no variant of Nathan Richards that's called the Beyonder. But on the other hand, it does tie in because in Secret Wars, the comic book series, the Beyonder is a cosmic entity who pulls random heroes and villains, including Kane the Conqueror, into his world where he creates the Secret Wars. This is supposed to set up, I believe, as a combination of what I think is the original Secret Wars story and the 2015 Secret Wars story, which I saw a video where people believe that this is going to be a combination of both those storylines, and how it ends is going to merge all universes together. Well, I don't think all of them because I think that'd be too much. At least a small number of universes together. But that's getting off topic. But back to this. Kane coerces Scott by threatening to kill his daughter if he doesn't help him out. But Scott, as we heard in the trailer, he doesn't care who or what this guy is capable of. The only thing he wants is time with his daughter, and he believes that Kane is the key. He ends up what we believe is the quantum nexus, or as it's referred into the comic books, the nexus of all realities, which I believe we are going to see a variant of Man Thing, who we saw in the Marvel Studios special presentation for Halloween, Werewolf by Night, which would make sense because in the multiverse anything is possible, so we can see anyone anywhere at any time regardless of what they look like. But what really has us excited is in the trailer and in this plot leak, Scott ends up coming across a window to different realities, which has a similar broken glass design that we saw like back in Spider-Man No Way Home when we saw those purple cracks in the sky like it was glass breaking, which happened to look exactly like the glass breaking in reality that we saw in What If. So this could be the place where the Watcher resides because he's the Watcher of all universes. So we could end up seeing the Watcher in this movie, but this is just a rumor, so it doesn't mean it's true. But that would be really interesting if we did, and it would tie everything together, because What If is supposed to be canon with what happened in Loki and in reconnaissance of what's happening in this movie, and it's supposed to be connected with the multiverse saga. He ends up coming across variants of himself, including one where where he just works at Baskin Robbins, so he's like he's totally oblivious to why he's here and what's happening. All these Scott variants work together to retrieve what I think is the one thing that Kane needs to escape the quantum realm that he apparently is trapped in, which I have no idea how he got trapped there because he's Kane. He controls all of time. He's so powerful. We don't how did he get trapped there? But we'll find out in the movie. So as we saw in the trailer, I think he's gonna need dozens variants of himself because we saw one that grew giant that I think ended up getting disintegrated like noodles, which is exactly how we saw Wanda disintegrate Reed Richards in the Multiverse of Madness. So it could be connected. They use this looks so they're using the exact same tactics as an ant would to pile up in a ladder to retrieve this. I think it's this looks like what I read is the light of all centuries sphere, which could be the power source for Kane's time chair or his ship that he needs to escape the quantum realm and conquer all universes, or conquer them and stop what he said to Scott is himself coming from other universes. Because we heard in Loki, his variant, He Who Remains, there were multiple variants of Kane who created a multiversal war to conquer the multiverse and annihilate their enemies, which would make sense. But as we get to the third act of the movie, it is revealed that Kane has conquered so much of the quantum realm and that he has built an army that he will take with him once he leaves. And it is revealed that Janet and Kane have crossed paths together in the past because they bonded with the fact that they were both trapped in the quantum realms and they were trying to find a way to get home. And not long after, Janet learns his true intentions, and as he comes clean, Janet destroys most of the equipment that Kane needs. And I think I think she steals the sphere and hides it in the Nexus of all realities. But I could be wrong. And Bill Murray, we all love Bill Murray. He's one of my favorite actors. Apparently, he's supposed to be playing the governor of the quantum realm, Kyler, who has had a relationship with Janet since she got trapped. And it is revealed that he's working for Kane, but his loyalty was coerced by the threat of his very own life. He's super scared of Kane. So he's got no choice. And it is revealed that Janet betraying Kane has given Kane enough time to come up with revenge. And it was revealed that once he leaves the quantum realm, the first universe he's going to conquer is hers, which is ours. It's a pretty good power play as an act of vengeance, which is the perfect way to set up Kang Dynasty, and it makes so much sense. But what really crosses my mind is MODOK. It's saying that MODOK is apparently Darren Cross, who we saw in Ant-Man, and he didn't. It's said that he didn't die. His limbs just got shrunk, super small, as he got trapped in the quantum realm, and so he's partnered up with Kang, but he's working for his own advantages. He wants Kang and Scott's help so he can get out of the realm and no one else. This leads up to what we believe is the big setup. Scott, Hope, and everyone stage a coup on Kane City, freeing Kyler from his control. So an army of Kyler's soldiers step in for the fight, and Kane's soldiers are flying over the city, or they could be leaving the quantum realm into our universe, as we saw in the trailer. Which actually, when you think about it, it can go either which way. They find a way to get back home, but as they all are leaving, Scott is snatched by Kane back into the quantum realm, and he beats him up so much that he's bleeding all over, which is pretty obvious. We see him beating Scott up in the trailer to the point where he shatters a point of his helmet, as we saw a long time ago on a photo on the internet where there was a Set Crew T-shirt with Ant-Man's head broken with Kane in the reflection. It looks like it's that same. Hope decides to go back into the quantum realm to help Scott. This gave Scott and Hope the advantage to permanently trap Kane in the quantum realm, but he escapes in the midst of time, trapping both of them in the quantum realm. Now Kane is free. Everyone's in danger. The multiverse is in danger. The Kane dynasty is born, and the secret wars are coming. So this could be what happens in the movie based off what we saw in the trailer, but it doesn't. The movie doesn't release until February 17. So we got a couple days or weeks to find out what happens. But here's where the fun really begins. A video I just watched recently that covered the both Ant-Man trailers and this plot leak said that they read something that they are currently doing reshoots. Well, technically, he said they weren't reshoots, but they're like scenes to be added, like at the end of the movie, like a post-credit scene or something. He said that this newly additional scene or scenes that are going to be added in the movie will be so big that it's gonna break the internet, just as No Way Home did when people were saying that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were returning as their characters. Now, I don't know what it is. He said he wasn't gonna say what it is, but he said he would if other people are talking about it. So I'm pretty sure that he will once he hears this. But this is yeah, that's got me even more excited for this movie. But this based on everything that is written here and what we saw in the trailer, it's most likely that this could be 98% true. And I've been listening to other breakdown videos who have covered this, and they think the same thing. But this is just my thoughts. So that's pretty much all. That's pretty much all I want to cover here. So this is Keegan Bond, and thank you for listening to this episode of Potluck Culture. Be sure to look out for some more episodes in the future. I don't know when. Probably after Quantumania releases. That way we can discuss what we saw and what we think is gonna happen. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Please, if you could, be sure to like and share this podcast with others to get their attention to listen to this podcast, because I really want to build up my subscription status. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and I will tune you guys in next time.